on the road again had a new meaning as Ben and I went from Scranton to Johnstown, talking to the vets that we met along the way, and we hope we have captured some of the stories so that you can hear them, see the faces, and enjoy it as much as we did. Merry Christmas for 2011. We wish you all the best. We hope to see you all soon. Our love, Angie and Ben.
Watch your step going down here.
Relax with.
Yes, absolutely.
So we decided to drive around Pennsylvania. Yeah, why not? All right, let's go see this.
So somebody took our dog and we...
Oh, good. For the weekend or so?
Well, it's not my age.
Hi,
It's an
Mary.
adventure just
Awfully
getting
sorry
here.
about your trouble.
Well, thank you
Good
very much.
fellow.
Right.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
Hi, sorry about your dad.
Thank you.
And that's
Ben.
Oh, hi.
Nice to meet
Jerry.
you.
You finally found it.
I did.
It's beautiful.
Well, that's great. Do you want to go in the house
Yeah,
first?
do the tour, so.
Sure.
Because if we go right out to eat, it'll be dark when you come
The
back.
tour it is.
Huh?
I've
Yeah.
heard about your home for so
I'll open
long.
the doors for
We want to see the house.
Oh, okay.
you. Lead the way.
Well, okay.
have you been here?
We got the tour, your tour. It's cooler in here, too.
Oh, look at your cars. You have stuff. Maybe we could.
I'll tell you the story about them after a
This is
while.
Brooks' Adventure.
This is my favorite article.
An old GE refrigerator.
Wow.
You don't see many of these
Oh
anymore.
my goodness.
Oh, isn't that
Look at
cool?
that. Hey, that's
Oh
nice.
my gracious.
Wow.
And this is just the stove and so on and so forth.
No wonder you come here.
Hmm?
I mean, I like your apartment also, or condo, but
Well,
So in the summer, this would be the place to be.
all of the dishes are stoneware. I have to show Ben the, I don't know if he's old enough to see this.
probably.
Probably.
I suppose.
Aren't they cute?
He's not showing us.
Uh-huh, got that. Oh, that's like the new kinds of stuff they have at the airport. It's when you go through the machines, right? That's what they see.
Very
Paid
funny.
for your time. You could have sold
Very
something
funny.
right there.
That's, I mean, you're not interested in dishes and stuff like that, I don't think.
Now, when we saw you at the funeral, boy, there was a long line when we left. It
It was surprising.
was a really long line. No kidding, yeah, yeah. A lot of people.
Saw people who knew him really at all different.
Yeah, different stages, yeah, yeah,
Did you mentioned the pictures. Did you bring any of them with you?
yeah. She brought the one from, I mentioned a few.
You mentioned
But you have the one that, the picture with Bert at the funeral, the picture of it. I think it was a card.
Yeah, I brought, oh yeah, because I brought a couple too. But you know what cracks me up is this spit form. What a ride. Split cup.
For vertically challenged people. Signed by Mr. Big.
Love that outfit.
The spit pump.
Now, this was, I think these were all 07. They might have been developed.
That was something he started just to pick up people's attention, and it just had a life of its own. It really did.
Is this for me? And this is the shirt that you're wearing? Yes.
No,
It's actually a jacket. It's just like a zipper.
It looks exactly the same.
Every now and then, you know, how
We hear how other people feel about that.
I'm sure he's got him laughing in heaven. He's got him laughing up in heaven, I'm sure.
You know, the day the obituary was in the paper, we didn't get a paper delivered. So we think probably Bert made a comment.
Did you get one?
Yeah, we did get some.
What did you get?
The newspaper the day the obituary came out, the newspaper wasn't delivered.
They didn't deliver it.
Well, that was a terrific write-up. That was really a good write-up.
She was what she and her brother wrote those.
Did you? That was terrific.
Oh, that's so
Let's see what happened.
And
So
it's
what's
funny,
good?
he just came across those today.
Well,
They were tucked in the desk. Must be looking for something.
ravioli.
I was trying to organize my
Who is this?
Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
What can I get for you to drink?
Do you have any drop here? Oh, no.
Yes.
What do you have for drop?
Miller Lite, Coors Light, Lager, England Black and Tan, Guinness, Blue Moon, and Sam Adams.
I'll have a Yingling.
You know, it might be Dolly. That's what I meant. She called me. She got my number.
Unsweetened?
Nice to
Unsweetened?
Really sad, but she's
Dolly, okay?
She was very upset on the message.
Vodka tonic?
but she also
Oh, whatever you give me.
To get proud of her.
Give me a picture for me, a piece of lime. Thanks.
Absolutely all right?
I'm going to say I thought it was still cold. She wasn't sure she
See,
was
now,
going to
you're a
make it
meat
for the
man,
weekend.
right?
She has an aneurysm.
You're a meat man, not a fish man, right? I'm leaning that way myself.
like water with lemon.
And for you?
Iced tea with lemon, please. Unsweetened. So she wasn't sure she was going to make it. She was going on Monday to find out if they could operate on the aneurysm in her heart. Dolly. Now she has bad knees and they can't operate because she has so many stents in her heart. They cannot operate. So she now has a scooter, but she's got this guy. She has him for honey. Who knows what the story is? But anyway.
Tell me all his problems too.
Now he's got problems, but he doesn't get vacation very often, and he hadn't seen his daughter in 20 years. But anyway, she's getting married this weekend, so they're going to New Hampshire. I'm sorry,
Dolly's.
Oh,
No, the daughter.
that's my mom and Joanne. That's a good picture.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I think it's Dolly.
I was
On the
wondering
far
if it
left.
was
Oh my goodness, that's the three of us. That's my mom and Joanne.
Those pictures are within a package of other pictures which aren't even related. You know, I just...
Oh, didn't Bert look good?
No, there was...
he does.
What a good picture. That's such a good picture.
Primary event of it.
Well, okay. Summer. This is summer, so it was a wardrobe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We were trying to figure before.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Wonderful. And my husband Ben.
Hi, very nice to meet you.
I'm one of the daughters. I'm Daddy. I drove them down.
Did you ever come
This is
before?
my chauffeur.
It is.
They used to do it on their own, but now so.
We used to all be younger. How did that happen? You look wonderful. Now, tell me something.
Looks deceiving.
Yeah, well, I pay a lot for this color. Didn't you guys work work with horses?
Yes.
We did, yeah.
We did.
Do you still?
We have some, but we're not doing too much with them. Our daughter does some.
Wow. And Eddie Case was here last night. He ended up, he has a dental emergency, so he has a dentist appointment this afternoon. But and he wanted to know where in New York, and of course he knows New York real well. And I said, all I know is upstate New York.
Hey?
Eddie Case. His dad, Ed Case, he was a real quiet man.
A lot of guys is quiet 10 days.
Yeah. But he was always kind of shy. His wife did a little bit of talking. I guess that's pretty apt.
As they got older, they got a little shyer. I think they're a little brazen when we first started meeting.
But you know what? Especially once the officers didn't come and a lot of the guys could stand up and talk, they had voices that you never heard, and the stories that came out were just incredible. Question, Al Jakowski was coming, and at the last minute his son had to work, so he's not coming.
So who's meeting?
Al Jakowski. We're actually going to go to Jerry Roebling's cottage. We went, do you know Jerry Roebling?
Any guys from New York and everything was up there?
No.
No, I think
Bert.
4 or 5 of us maybe.
And the Whites are here. Bert was buried on Monday, and he had advanced stages of Alzheimer's. And they went to a parade on 4th of July, and he was ambulatory. And then they gave him a birthday party. He would have been 90 in September, and Mary turns 80 this week.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave him a birthday party, and all the kids came home, and because they've got one in Texas, and one is works with wildlife at Yellowstone, and has just written a book on conservation of the elk and bringing the wolf back into.
We probably have seen it because he likes to watch all those things.
Oh well, you have to talk to her about it because he's just gotten an award for it, and Yellowstone was mentioned as one of the leading programs, so she'd love to tell.
We got one grandson, and he goes camping all over, and he goes out to Grand Canyon.
So what we thought we would do, we went out last night. Jerry Roebling has talked about this house. This was in her family for whatever. The house is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And it's on a lake, and he's got an air-conditioned porch, but it's a beautiful setting. So we went and got stuff to make lunch.
Oh, okay. We didn't have any lunch. We're waiting for a big feast here.
It's not a big feast, but it is food.
Something to eat.
But it's real pretty. So if you don't mind, it's about 30 minutes or so.
No, it's all right.
That's fine.
We'll go and enjoy
But
it.
can we get in with his wheelchair?
Yes.
You check that. Okay. No problem.
There is one step to the back.
And it's one small.
There's a small step to get into.
That's
I
right.
didn't get
We
that.
can back it up over. Oh, no, that doesn't back up too good.
No, he's got his cane. He can do one little step and
Okay.
then let the chair open. He sit back down in the chair. It'll be fine.
So I guess what we're saying is we're making the best of the best. So you're
That's
the
good.
best.
That's good.
People are left in your group, Dad.
I don't know.
Do you know?
We had one letter returned. I sent out probably 54,
Is there that many people left?
and one came back. Gusfield. He was an officer. Gusfield. His wife he is deceased. His wife is still alive, and her letter came back with a forwarding address to California. So, and she's just a really special lady. So,
Probably moved out there maybe with family or something.
well, she only had one niece. That was it. So, yeah. So hopefully the niece is out there. They're just a delightful lady. And I talked to Dolly. If you remember Dolly Zaroka.
Yeah.
And she is not in good health. And but anyway, she was going to a family wedding in New Hampshire, so that's why we couldn't see her. And so she had talked with Dusty. Hey.
Did Eddie go back?
No, Lori Lori found out that there was a Christmas store.
Christmas tree store?
In Scranton.
Yeah.
She'll
be there for hours.
So when she got, she said, we need to check out. So she said, I'm standing in the line, and Lori just ran back for something else. So that's part of the reunion, is going shopping, right? Okay.
It used to be. Yeah.
Used to be, yeah. Oh, and remember that the Whites and the Longs. The Longs could shop the most. They came a day early to shop.
Yeah.
My mother came to talk. Some people came to shop. We're going to go get our suitcase.
Okay.
Have you been to most of the meetings?
At first we were to a few in the beginning, then towards the middle. Then as we started raising our family and had the riding stables, nothing, I mean, we couldn't get away.
Right. So we didn't come most of the time. The kids were growing up.
You got it. Happy 4th of July.
Oh, Lord.
Happy birthday to Art, almost. August 1. And to Lori, who's going to be whatever age.
Whatever age. Nobody's business, right? That's about right.
And to Mary, who's beyond AAR, who's still AARP age.
And your mother?
And then my mother. She would have been, let's see, 24, 87.
Was this weekend too.
Yep.
Comic from Florida this morning, she said it's 105. That's hot.
There was 102 coming through Pennsylvania yesterday on the street.
Yeah. I have a friend, in fact my middle sister lives in Dallas, Texas.
Oh God.
And they just had day after day after day after day over 100.
We have a friend that has a sister in Texas too.
Oh, I just couldn't do that every day. And they say, oh, there's no humidity. Well, okay, when you go above 100,
Sister in Texas too.
oh, I just couldn't do that every day. And they say, oh, there's no humidity. Well, okay, when you go above 100, you know, that's called hot. Now, you're which child? How many?
I'm the middle.
You're middle.
I'm the middle child. There's 2 older and 2 younger. I'm the troublemaker child.
No, you're the middle child. That's your definition.
Middle child. That's her opinion, not mine.
And where are the other 4?
We have 2. I have an older daughter. We have an older daughter, and we have 2 older daughters. Both of them are nurses. And one older daughter lives right next door. The other one lives in North Carolina. And then we have twins.
Everybody's local except for one.
Nice.
My one sister lives in North Carolina.
Are the twins boys?
Boy and girl.
Both. Jack and Jill.
We lost our first boy, and then I had twins, boy and a girl. They're all pretty well grown up, have their own families, and some have grandchildren.
Wow.
How many grandchildren in all?
We have
Let's see
14.
how good they're remembering.
We have 14 grandchildren and 22 great-grandchildren.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we just saw most of them came up a little while ago, and we saw a whole bunch of them that he doesn't see. I usually hop on if anybody says there's room in their car, I go to North Carolina in a hurry or wherever. But they were up visiting.
Well, the youngest grandson just got married, so so we got to see a lot of nieces and nephews.
In North Carolina?
They all came up to New York for the wedding.
Oh, nice.
All the North Carolinians.
It was really nice. It was very
Maybe
nice.
they were happy to be in New York.
Was this a North Carolinian nephew that got married?
No, he's from New York. He's born and raised in New York.
And how many of them have caught the horse bug?
Not as many as I like.
No. My daughter used to be a gamer. When she was younger, she the barrel racing. I used to see them race around all them barrels when they're on the horses. That's what my daughter did.
Oh my goodness.
We had a big 4-H group, which I said before we couldn't leave it because there was always something going on in it, and you guys all having a reunion, and they got some of our grandchildren in competition. She used to live in Arizona, and they'd come up and they'd come up in the summer and she'd participate. So it was fun.
It was mostly the girls though, their granddaughters got into the horses more than the grandsons. My daughter's gonna be 31, so she stopped competing at 17. So, through the 4-H, they can only be up to 18 or their senior year in high school.
Just don't. Our horses are growing old with us, most of them.
It's a senior citizen farm. That's what it is. It's a senior citizen farm for the horses.
Never had it so good, huh?
You got it. They're retired. It's a retirement home.
Everybody says we should take them out and shoot them, put them out of their misery. What misery? They're having a ball with poor old horses. Really like it.
Hear what happened on the way home?
No.
Listen to this.
Oh, you tell it better.
If it happened to you, you gotta tell it.
What happened to all
You guys came here last night too. Did you come last night? Oh.
And then it was on the way home, that's right. I'm not the storyteller.
We decided to go home, and we went 307. We used GPS. We used GPS coming out here, so it should have taken us the same route, but it didn't. And all of a sudden we realized we're going through Scranton, and I looked down at my GPS, and a GPS has certain colors. The lake is blue, you know, certain colors. And normally the road is like a light gray, and then it's got like a forest green border. I looked down, and my GPS, I'm not kidding, was army green. Okay, it's never been that color. And all of a sudden, Lori says, I think Dad's telling us where to go. That's where his mother lived. That's where his father worked. And we had the Burt tour of Scranton. It was incredible.
Must have been through Southside then.
Well, it tried to take us down Cedar Ave, but there was a detour. So it went by the railroad station and
Incredible.
by River Street.
So we decided that was Bert's input. His addition to the scenery of the weekend. And then we went to the grocery store this morning to get this, and we turned on Bernie Road, and everybody used to call my mother Bernie. I'm like, what is this? The grocery store is on Bernie Avenue. So, Lord knows that these people would give up and miss a party. Now, do you guys stay in New York year-round?
We do, yeah, we do, yeah.
Even with all the snow?
I would just as soon go to North Carolina and spend it down there. They have less snow. They've been having snow and they've been having bitter cold, believe it or not, and some of the time. For them anyway. They went down, my son-in-law got aplastic anemia really bad, and we thought we were going to lose him, and he can't stand the cold weather. He couldn't stand the cold weather before he got sick. And now that after he was sick and we were so afraid of everything, they moved down there, my one daughter, the second daughter, and they invite us. They say there's always open house. You can always have some come down, and spend. He doesn't like it. He likes to stay up there where the snow and the cold is blowing around and freezing you out.
I'd love to see that snow out there.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
I don't like the heat, but I don't like the deep snow.
No, I enjoy the snow. I enjoyed it more when I had the horses. I guess if I would drive them now. Those days are gone, I guess.
We can get you on a snowmobile, Dan.
There you go.
Snowmobile, I like driving old thing horses.
Our son has snowmobiles and he's always roaring around there, so we could.
Well, sometimes that's all you can get around.
That's right.
Trust me, I know.
They have gotten more severe though, I swear, up where we live, and since the last 10 years. We never, at least I never minded the cold before.
I remember the one year growing up where they closed down Route 20, because their house was right on Route 20.
Yeah.
In the middle of New York State, and they closed down 20. And I remember as a kid, yay, no school. But he hooked up the horses to the sled. And we went to
the neighbors.
We went to the neighbors. They get where they're at, when they first, it's all farmland, big farmland.
Yeah.
One was dairy cows, and another farmer was chickens for eggs.
Yeah.
And so Dad hooked up the horses with a sleigh, and down Route 20 we went with the team.
Oh,
We went to
nice.
the neighbors' houses, and got milk for the other neighbors and eggs and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
We were snowed in. I mean, the snow
The
was.
kids all remember
Oh, I
that.
remember that. That was because of no school. Yay!
Well, in Virginia, if it's a chance of snow, they just go ahead and close the school.
Yeah, automatically just about.
Automatically.
Because you guys, they don't have any equipment to clear them.
Now, where are you in relation to Ithaca?
We're north.
You're still north of Ithaca.
Uh-huh.
That's up there.
That's up there.
We're up there. Yeah.
Well, Buffalo's one of the worst areas for snow. In the
Oh, yeah, that bad.
Right. We were in a whiteout once, going toward Buffalo. Had to stay at a motel because you couldn't see anything in front of you.
Were you on the freeway when it happened?
From Pittsburgh up to Buffalo. And
We went from, 380 up to, right?
I can't remember the number.
And 380 goes right into Rochester,
Yeah. And it just was scary.
I know sometimes on the thruway, I mean, people get stranded. You're just in your vehicle.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. Just shut them off, and
Right.
they will do what they can to come and get the people because they don't have them plowed. You can't go anywhere. You're done.
That happened in Buffalo this year. The people got stranded for days.
Uh-huh.
And I love the story about the husband. There was a story in the news about a husband bringing his wife a blanket, blankets and pillows. And I thought, he just left her there? Like, you guys wouldn't place it with her or anything. Bye, honey.
Texas had their first snow before we did this last year.
It's screwy.
They usually only get maybe a few snowflakes, but this year they had 3 or 4 times when they had.
And where's Jack? Where in Texas?
North of Dallas, almost the Oklahoma border.
Oh, wow. Well, you know.
And I didn't feel sorry for years ago for those guys because that black line was terrible. And that, they said, would kill it a little bit.
Well, who were the miners? Who were the miners?
Dad, do you remember who the miners were?
Lester Shea.
Huh?
Lester
Do you remember
Shea's
who the
dad died
miners
in
were?
mines.
I remember the name.
Died in the mines with an accident?
No, they were the coal
Yeah,
miners
when he
in
was-
your
Well,
platoon.
they were all coal
So he was
miners.
from the
All-
mines.
Do you remember any of the people's names?
know that.
Oh God, they were all outfit with coal miners at that time. I joined them up in Port Sheridan. They needed 2 good guys to send New York to fill them, fix these guys in Pennsylvania.
Well, and I think Dad was the only one from Virginia at the time.
It's,
Well, you'd be surprised. It's interesting going through the mine.
oh yeah. There's about a half a dozen that was in there from New York, I remember right. There was one from Utica.
But when they tell you how these guys work for a nickel a day or something like that, you know, I mean,
Work for nothing, peanuts.
No.
yeah. I mean, you came over here as with nothing and didn't have any skills. And
What about Wojnarowski? Did you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember him.
Wojie?
Oh yeah. He was in my B class. Yeah. He was in
So you were B, and what were you?
Hmm?
What group were you with? Were you B?
A, I think it was
no, I was an A.
A, right? Yeah.
Where were you?
B.
Well, see, like you remember Jim Cantlin, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, he was my buddy because we were with headquarters all the time, see?
Yeah.
And every time you'd go, you'd have a
Gotta go up there and get something.
A and B, get the A and B go here, A and B go there. So we got to be great friends. Because, I mean, you had the little pup tent, you know, each one had their half. It was something.
The big pup tents, right? big ones, the spacious.
No, one up there. Up this high.
Yeah.
I mean the ones with the airbag
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah, the when we landed.
Oh, yeah, we had it coming out of the ground.
In the morning you had to dump the things out of your shoes. Oh, what were those things that they had, remember? In Iran?
Scorpions?
Yeah, I think they were.
Were they scorpions?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
No.
Well, you know, you were sleeping on the ground.
I know.
You had to take your shoes off for your feet to get moldy. Because you couldn't take a bath. You'd go for a month.
Do you remember when we landed in Iran?
Yeah.
Remember when we got on the boat and then we had to walk, hike to, what the hell, they had little area, bivouac areas, and they named the place like, they named that the cigarette, like Camel, like, we had to go to one, I forget what the name of the camp was now, and it was so hot, and my God, it was about 120, and you start with some of the guys, they walked me into their car, and they was, passing out, so they come along with the truck. And they had us throw all of our barracks, or, our sacks, the only thing they took with us was the rifles.
Yeah, when they told us we were landing in
Yeah, we were
going to see.
We're all going to go for like, we're going to go like the cigarette, like Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to go there, they're supposed to bring our bags and stuff up there, and see the bag what we had. They never got to us that night. We slept outside. There was a big lemon orchard there. And we slept in the lemon orchard. It got so cold that night, it was unbelievable.
Well, what happened to your bags? The truck just never
We come
arrived.
next day, we had no food that night. Saving up the stomach, that was the best meal.
Well, actually, we were really very fortunate.
Yeah, we were. Very fortunate.
I know a friend of mine showed me a book about her father's army outfit, and he was on anti-aircraft. And he was just about the same time we were. But he only shipped over, maybe 6 months before the war ended. And they had the little, guns for anti-aircraft on the trucks, on the half-tracks and things like that, And they would be sending them in. They had nothing, well, there were the Army, the Navy Germans didn't have any airplanes left, so these guys were shooting in the infantry, and oh dear, and they were anti-aircraft, see? So we were lucky because they went over about the same time we did. The part that was very unusual, when we would register, there was a fellow from Scranton registered us, and I think, this is my idea now, I think he decided that this is a pretty good outfit, and I'm going to send the guys off to this Fort Sheridan. And then, see, in A Battery, we had 150 men, and about 100 of them were from South Scranton.
Yeah, they were all from Scranton, the whole battalion was from Scranton.
I was on charge of quarters one night, and a general comes in. This is like 2 in the morning, You had to have somebody there awake. He said, give me your 420s. That was a big IBM card. It was all punched, and you'd put a wire through it to pull out what you wanted,
Yeah.
So he said, give me the Company A's 420. So he gave it to him, and he's looking at it. He said, you in Company A? Yeah. Well, he said, these guys are all from, it says Scranton Draft Board. Is that a great big place, like a big city? They said we're all within about 5 square blocks.
Yeah.
We had formation at 6 o'clock the next morning, and they shift us around, because they said if there was a bomb dropped on Battery A, the whole section of town would be without young men.
Yeah.
So it really was
What was that? Wasn't there a law because some
The Sullivan Law.
Sullivan Law where the 4 boys were killed?
Then when we shipped out of Fort Sheridan, we went to down Virginia,
Yep.
Fort Eustis, Virginia.
Yep.
And I remember we was coming down, so I think it was Rochester, if I remember right, that night in the train. and the trains, we had to stop up there, and there was one kid in there with us, and he's inside the train, you look out, you could see his house. That's how close to his house we were, you know, but he couldn't get out of the train, they wouldn't let him out, but it was so funny, because here's your train, here's your house, throw a ball over to it, and they never knew it.
Well, you know, in Africa, we got on the 40 and 8s, and they were really a mess. But these trains, you don't know when they're going to stop and when they're going to get them going again.
Yeah, no,
and the guy toot the whistle when they're going, you know. So this one guy in our outfit, he took his mattress cover and he sewed a rope into the mattress cover. So when they'd stop at one of these places, the Arabs all come over, you know, and they're dealing with us. They want to buy cigarettes, they want to buy everything, and they want to buy a mattress cover, because the mattress cover they'd make for their wife's clothing, see?
Yeah.
So this guy has got a system. He's there dickering with the guy, you know? And then when he heard the beep beep, he knew we were going to be taken off. So he then would say to the guy, okay, it's sold. He'd take the money, give him the mattress, and pull the mattress.
Yeah, that happened. He sold the other guy sold the mattresses 4 or 5 times.
The Arabs would get a little mad at that. Oh,
no. You used to give a cigarette back then, day? God. You want to sell a pack of cigarettes, you get $60 for it, like nothing.
For a pack of cigarettes?
For a pack, oh yeah. Wow. It cost us, I think it was 5 cents a pack at the time we bought it. Shoes, we used to get $60, $75 a pair of shoes. Pants was 75, shirts was 45.
From the people over there?
Yeah, the people over there would buy all, you know, anytime the trainers come in, you'd see the line. You know, get the money hanging up there with all the money.
Right.
It was amazing though to me. There'd be a couple of women walking down, you know, all I could see is the eye, all of this covered all over, and behind them would be a couple of French women, and they would be dressed with all kinds of nail polish and everything on, you know. Years ago in the States, they didn't have that at that time. The French were, but I mean, from seeing a lady with a sheet all over, and then the next one, real sexy. It's very unusual.
And this was where, in Iran?
Iran.
All the way to Africa, like that.
Sure, they had streetcars, and we were expecting to see all the wild animals, and their streetcars are riding on the top of them. Every place. I don't know if they charge toll or anything, maybe a nickel or something. But these Arabs are, oh.
You remember that we went in one town, I forget that it was, and I think it was near Tunis. It might have been Sicily. And we were in that one night, and everybody put up shacks and went to the airport. Everybody got the wood from the buildings. They called it. The next day the general come in, inspected us. They called it Shack City. You remember that? Yeah.
What I remember in Sicily, we were in the 6th wave. Was it the invasion?
Whichever was, I don't know.
We got up when we get off the boat. It's midnight or something like that, you know. And our first sergeant says, "Take some men up and dig a latrine," you know. Well, we don't know where we are, so we dig a latrine. The next morning, that night after it was over, I went and I laid down and oh gosh, this is so nice and soft and looking at the moon, you know. And then I realized that we were. There had been some cows there. And then I didn't have any water to wash my hair. Holy hell. That wasn't bad enough. The first sergeant coming back, "What the hell did you dig a little tree up there for?" Well, I said, "Where? We didn't know." Well, when the morning came, it was along the main street. And the fellas are there talking to the girls while they're going. Oh, Lord. The things that happen. Yeah, that was so nice and soft on that dung.
Right. What group was your husband
Oh boy, Lori, help me.
Was he in the A and the B, or do you know?
I think he was in C.
Pardon me?
I think he was in C, right?
C?
Bert, yeah.
Yeah. Was he in C? I'm not sure.
Who?
Bert White.
White.
He was an A batter, is that what you
A.
said?
I think he was
sorry.
a,
Yeah, he was, see, we had, these guns were, I think, 20 ton.
yeah.
And it would take about, 4 or 5 hours to level them out, right?
Dig a hole.
And they had to be perfectly level because the one instrument was showing that one guy had
On
an
the
instrument
elevation guy, yeah.
tracking the height of the thing, and the other one would try to track the distance.
On the opposite
This
side.
is when radar was just starting.
Yep.
They had 5, 6, 8, and oh Lord, they were so heavy. And then they had these big outriggers. And this is when they were deciding if they should take girls in the Army. These guys are saying, yeah, I'd like to see the girls lifting these outriggers. And then what they did, the shells that we had were about 70 pounds. About that big, you know.
Oh, yeah,
And
big ones.
when we get there, they dig a hole and put the shells in the hole, and then they put the dirt they took out, they put in bags around it, so that when they come in strafe, it wouldn't set them off, you know. And then when they were going to shoot them, one guy'd get in there and they'd throw it from one to the next, you know.
Yeah.
Well, throwing 70-pound things at the next guy gets kind of heavy.
And we used to dig the holes. We had 21-foot slug, and we dug down 3 foot, same thing. That's how far that so in other words, we were sitting in there, about probably our head and stuff on the top of the.
So you worked with the guns too.
Oh yeah, I was the elevation guy going up and down.
So who was the guy that wrote the poetry? I've got it. I've got the poetry about the guns. He wrote it as if the gun was a woman.
Well, that could have been. It could have been one of the other companies. Each company had four guns.
I
They
can't think,
company-
I
One
know
of
what
you
you're
guys,
talking
he
about because
read
I
it.
heard that.
He read it at one of the reunions, and I've got it.
Well, I know the guy on
I'd like to read
the
that.
guy on our gun was he was from his name was what that was his name now. He's right in Pennsylvania. Nos. He was on the elevator as when I was on elevation on our gun. I don't know what the other gun picks were.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
But that was that time we had 17 guys on each gun.
17.
17, yeah. We had 3 holes for the guns for the boat. Then, you know, when we took the holes, we dropped the gun in, then you pull the thing, and the wheels pull right out. And we had 4 big holes on each side, 3 sides with bullets. It was a big, you know, 6 or 9 millimeter gun bullets.
Holes for the gun to rest in.
And we backed the whole gun right down in the pit. Then we had 3 holes. I think each one was about 6 foot square, probably where the shells, we kept the big, the shells by the probably, with probably 50 shells in each one, I guess.
See, the Germans didn't go through all that.
No.
They had just guns on 4 wheels, and they just got them approximate, and they're ready to shoot in 10 minutes, see. Ours, we had a tome with a great big prime mover, they call them. Well, they were so heavy, you know, but the ones the Germans had, they'd pull them in, and they could shoot at people, infantry or whatever it was, without any problem, see. Now, then they had, like, in our outfit, well, we had the fellas too, there were companies that had small guns, 40 millimeters, instead of 70. We used to call them the pea shooters.
Yep.
They didn't have this radar and everything. They just shoot at, when a plane would come in, they'd just try and shoot them, and then they'd have 50 caliber guns with the shells that would light, you know, and they would be able to tell where they were shooting. But I mean, theirs was more dangerous because they were getting people that were shooting down. That was an interesting life.
It was like we had a nice tour when we was over there.
Nice what?
We had a nice tour. I mean, all of it, the whole 406, they did. We know what's right going on.
Yeah, see, I was lucky because I was in
the whole outfit was lucky. We never really had no fight to do.
Dad said I think I remember Dad said that one person was killed in there was a
You know,
truck.
that's a funny thing. There's one fellow, his name was Doherty, and he was in headquarters, and he had charge of the company clerks, you know. And I mentioned Jimmy Canlon because there were three of us one day right before we were shipping out. Canlon, Doherty, and myself. Doherty had a fabulous job in New York, but he said he was single and he wanted to join the Army so that he would save some family, you know. But anyhow, this guy comes in, I don't know, he was a monk or something like that, and he said, I have a prayer here, and he said, if you take this prayer and you wear it, you're sure to come home. So, I mean, what the hell, you know, you give me the give it away. And Jimmy the same way. And Doherty said, I don't believe in that stuff. And he didn't come home. That struck Jimmy and I awfully strange, because one day when we would have been with him, we were given leave or something, and when we came back, he was killed.
In a truck?
I don't know how. I thought he was. I don't remember. He was working on the bridge.
I think he was on the bridge when they came back and they stayed
bridge
for
caught
bridge,
the nets, and he didn't make it. Somebody from Scranton.
There was a whole bunch of them got killed on the bridge that time.
Okay, so he sent a couple.
There was a bunch of them got killed.
And I thought Daddy said something about a truck that was in front of him and you were moving at night. And
Very possible. Well, yeah, it's very possible.
No, that wasn't Doherty, I don't think. Because this was during the daytime. Oh, I know it wasn't because he drowned. He was on working. And see, they used to come, remember the strafers come at the, when you'd be on the bridge, they'd come down, well, you know, they'd have to duck or something, and Doherty fell off and drowned.
Was he the one that fell off? Everybody seen him going down, he never come up out of the water?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, I was right there with him that time.
Yeah, some of the crazy things, like we got a commander, you know, everybody was bucking for promotion. And he was writing all these articles, and when he would be writing articles about our headquarters outfit. Like one night when we were supposed to cross the Rhine, the infantry went over in the boats in the daytime, and at night we were supposed to go over and start getting ready to build the bridges. And this colonel decides that his headquarters group would do that, so that it would look like the clerks were really doing a wonderful job. So we crossed the Rhine on a cable. That was a thrill.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah.
You have to be pretty strong to, well, I mean, you're scared to death. You don't let go.
You mean hand over hand?
Mm-hmm.
You let go, he was gone. They could swim.
How far down?
It was probably out in the center, it was probably 120 feet or something like it. It would depend on where you want to cross.
This was a bridge going from where to where?
God, I can't remember the name.
I don't know, Ramagan was there or something. And you know, I told you this story before. I was on KP. No, I was on guard duty. Ordinarily, we didn't do guard duty while I was in headquarters, but this colonel, or lieutenant colonel, no, what was he? Remember, this guy he was bucking for colonel. Anyhow, he was writing all these articles about his headquarters group. So we were on guard duty, and we were along the river that night, and it was just like 4th of July. The shells flying all over the place, you know. And when we went, they said, we're going to have problems tonight. Be careful. You're on guard duty. If you see anybody at all, you just holler to them, and if they don't give you the password, you shoot them.
Yep.
Well, I'm on guard duty, and the word was dance, and he's supposed to say step. Well, all of a sudden I hear 3 people. They're 2 men and a woman. And she's screaming and they're going, well, you know, I mean, women were not in combat in those days. We knew there was something. I knew there was something. Don't know what the hell to do. Do you just shoot the 3 people? You know, I mean, I just couldn't do it. So I took him to the officer of the day. He was happy. He said, "You'll be court-martialed in the morning." And so they found out the woman had some kind of problem that she couldn't deliver the baby, see? And they didn't have any doctors. So the mayor and her husband brought her screaming to us. So our doctor then had to deliver the baby. He said, "Geez, we're trying to kill the Germans and you're bringing new ones into the world. What the hell's going on?" So anyhow, my first sergeant heard about it, and he said, "Anybody say anything to you other than that?" "No." Well, they said, "You keep low for 2 or 3 days. Maybe it'll blow over." So it blew over. Oh, Lord.
And who was your first sergeant?
Hmm?
Who was your first sergeant?
Fortune.
Okay.
But see, actually I was wrong. Because suppose they had a bomb or something like that, you know? But I mean, gee, for fellas, it's just like now, could I shoot you and you? And, you know, I mean, it's pretty... What I always wonder is, whatever happened to the baby that was born that night? I'd love to know. But I don't know anything about it. You don't know where you are or anything, you know? Yeah. But it was, it bothered me, really. Because, I mean, you know, you broke the rules. But what can you do?
All right, let's go see if we can bother Bob.
They shouldn't be. They know we're coming.
And he knows now. Did I wake you?
No, I just had a pretty late night, so...
Sorry. We're here to see Bob Simrata?
He's my grandfather. He's in the back here.
Okay.
Should I get on? Or?
Yeah.
We can come on in. I'm following you. Here we go. Hello, Bob. How are you?
I'm sleeping.
You're sleeping. Did you think we weren't going to come? Well, and I brought somebody else. I'm just fine. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you. Bob, this is my husband, Ben.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Bob Simrata.
Nice to see you.
And we brought some other folks with us. Do you remember Mary Long? Mary? She's Scranton. And I'm Sid Long. And Don Mangus, so Don and Mary Mangus.
Is he in the outfit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What battery?
What battery?
Yes, A. I was in A battery.
A battery.
Yeah.
Why, were you B?
I was in B.
B battery.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, can you guys sit
Oh,
over
we're
here?
fine. We've been sitting.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll go in the living room.
Okay.
All right, I'll go.